This is One Man's Opinion for October 29th, 2013. Happy Tuesday to you. Let's talk about a couple of things. All right. Hell in a Cell Sunday. It was a solid pay-per-view. Highlighted by one match in particular, and that was the first match. The triple threat tag team match between the Brotherhood, Cody and Goldust, the Shield, and the Usos. And that, by far, was one of the best matches this year. Good to see the tag division back again. It's like every time that the tag division is getting better, it gets watered down for the next couple of months. So kudos to all six men. They really brought it in that match. It was insane. Match of the night, match of the pay-per-view. It was just solid all around. And these three teams have a great chemistry. And it harkens back to the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. What the chemistry that those three teams had. And I see it in all the three teams we see now. That Cody and Goldust and the Shield and the Usos. Those are great men to have chemistry with. So kudos to all three teams. They set the bar for the night that wasn't even passed. And it was a good night for all three teams and all six men. So it begs the question if the rivalry keeps going, and as the dissension starts between the Shield, which started last night with Ambrose saying that he's the only one in the Shield with the U.S. title, and getting all cocky about it. Could these three teams, if they stay, together by then, have a TLC match in the future? I'm all for it. But Ryback CM Punk, I'll tell it to you like this, did not need to sell. Punk and Ryback have horrible chemistry. I do not like the chemistry between these two men. And Ryback, what's the future holding for him after two straight losses, Hell in a Cell and last night on Raw, and he hasn't, since he debuted as Ryback, has not beaten CM Punk. I think Ryback is 0-4 against Punk. It's bad. So how much faith do you think that WWE has behind Ryback up to this point? I'm saying not a lot. So where is that character going? Who knows? But I think it's lost already. I think it's gone. I think they took Ryback away from the Heyman connection, and I think this is it for Ryback. Expect a rehash of the character or a repackaging. Who knows? But Ryback is done in my eyes right now. So, like I said, I was thinking about this, and let's go to Orton and Bryan, which was a better match than they had. Every time, I guess they try to up the ante every match that they have. So their match at Night Champions was good. Their match at Battleground was a little bit better, but their Hell in a Cell match went way beyond as far as physicality and brutality. Despite the other things, I think Punk and Ryback used a little bit of the cell, but Orton and Bryan took advantage of it, which was nice. Which was a nice thing to see. Ended with Shawn Michaels super kicking Daniel Bryan after Daniel Bryan gets that knee on Triple H, because Triple H sees Shawn Michaels hurt, so he wants to help his best friend out. This is the point I'm trying to get. It seems like WWE has pressed the reset button on Daniel Bryan since Cena's back. It's like those 3 months never existed. It's like you see Cena at SummerSlam losing to Bryan, but you reset the button and Cena's the World Heavyweight Champion. It's like Cena's champion and Bryan is not. So it's like you're moving back 3 months. And it's frustrating because Daniel Bryan's push has been really relegated as the rivalry with the Authority kept going. And then the fact that Big Show was added seemed to add a little bit of not a lot of intrigue, but the fact that Punk was in there. Not Punk, that Show was in there, excuse me. Show was there, and I think it just decredited the push. And Big Show getting fired, and now from the end of last night, it seems as if we might get Big Show or Orton, or Big Show and Triple H. Big Show versus Orton, wouldn't make sense to me. Big Show versus Triple H would make more sense. I would have thought after Hell in a Cell, after CM Punk finished with Heyman and everything, that Punk could move forward in the title hunt and try to, or get a rivalry going versus the Authority, but that doesn't seem to be. And now you have Kane, who just finished filming See No Evil 2, which the right reasoning gets unmasked. So the face Kane is gone, and the heel Kane is back, doing whatever Stephanie McMahon tells him to do as of this point, or whatever the Authority tells him to do. So heel Kane is corporate again, and Big Show right now is taking Bryan's spot as the top face in this rivalry, which during this whole thing you knew that Big Show was going to play a part in the long term of it, which I did not like. I really wanted Daniel Bryan to play the long term of it, but it was just not to be. And now you have Daniel Bryan, who's seemingly now in a rivalry with the Wyatt family. No disrespect to the Wyatt family, they needed a push, and this is how they're going to do it with Bryan and CM Punk. It's just that the fact that Bryan's journey through the past 3 months, and you lead to where? You led to a rivalry with the Wyatts. And much like Kane too, Kane came back, one got a little bit of payback to the Wyatt family, but there was no payoff. Kane turns heel, and there was no big payoff with Kane getting back at Wyatt for taking him out. So there's a lot of plot holes there as far as consistency and how creative is running that. What pisses me off is Show now being the top face in that rivalry between him, Orton, and Triple H, which I don't like. What would have made better sense is to have Stephanie send her monster Kane to stop the Big Show. Now, Big Show, who doesn't have a job, but yet could walk down the ramp to his own entrance music. It has Vince McMahon written all over it. I could see Vince McMahon planting everything that Triple H and Stephanie don't know, like having Vince tell authorities that Big Show, on his authority, he let Big Show in the building, and he let Big Show still play his own music, and just Vince pulling the strings behind the scenes, probably from home, telling Kevin Dunn, hey, do this, do this. So I could see Vince McMahon in the background while Big Show is in his nothing to lose phase. So I could see that. Now, who Orton's next opponent is for Survivor Series, for the title. I don't know up to this point. Right now, they're building Bryan and Punk, which the idea of this is awesome, against the Wyatt family, and Wyatt's cryptic messages after and before he gives Sister Abigail to both Bryan and Punk was "the devil made me do it." Now remember the promo that Heyman put when he was going to the top of the cell says he said I'm Satan himself. So it could lead to Heyman leading the Wyatt family to destroy Punk, and probably more intricate would be Heyman working with Triple H and Heyman telling Wyatt, do this and you could do whatever you wish. And I could see Wyatt playing an integral part, and I guess now that you think about it, it really comes together as far as the authority goes. So because what if Heyman made a deal with Triple H and Triple H talked to the Wyatt family, telling them to take out Bryan and Punk because they're really big obstacles as far as the WWE title is concerned. So maybe Wyatt saying the devil made me do it was Heyman, but what if the devil was Triple H? See, there's a lot of things to that. So now that I think about it, I mean, it could leave me surprised, but the fact that we got Big Show now that's basically gunning for the title or gunning for Triple H is he's now in that big face spot. Cena won the World Heavyweight Championship in a great match against Alberto Del Rio at Hell in a Cell. I tweeted this and said Del Rio is the dark horse of the WWE because he keeps putting on great match after great match after great match, and it's like he's under the radar and nobody notices. But Alberto Del Rio puts on great matches, and he put on great matches these past couple months, especially with Cena last night, so that was no exception. I would expect a rematch between Del Rio and Cena at Survivor Series, but now that you have the Sandow equation, it may be a triple threat, who knows. But Cena, it needed to happen. Cena winning the World Heavyweight title to bring a little bit of credibility back to that big gold belt. So that's my thoughts on it there. The way the storylines are going, with Kane being corporate and unmasked, being a part of the authority, Big Show filling in now, who is now in Bryan's spot, feuding with the authority, and Bryan sidetracked with the Wyatt family, and Punk sidetracked with the Wyatt family, and in a way still connected, I think, to a Heyman storyline in a way. So I think everything will come together as far as Survivor Series goes. I mean, who knows how it's going to be? Who knows how it's going to turn out? I'm just disappointed about Bryan, how Bryan's push never came to fruition. You gave the man the title twice in a span of a day and a cup of coffee, and you never gave him the chance to run with it. So I hope they could prove me wrong, and hopefully they do, because right now I'm a very disappointed man as far as the push that they gave Daniel Bryan, which was all for naught. Now is like those 3 months never happened, and you have Orton the champion again. So no disrespect to Orton, I mean, he's always a great heel, and he knows what to say, but Bryan with the title was the end game of all of it. Bryan getting the title was the end game to everything, but that's not to be, and now Big Show's in that spot, so it's whatever there. I wanted to touch on this. TNA is rumored to be put up for sale. I haven't heard any confirmation, and I don't know if there is confirmation to this. And apparently, allegedly, the Carter family want out of the business. So, allegedly, the Carter family is putting TNA up for sale. I'm sure that Big Ray Show, and Andre Corbeil will shed a light on this in the Can-Am wrestling show later tonight. So I'll be watching, and hopefully they'll shed some light on this subject, because that was the news that was airing all over Twitter while Hell in a Cell was on, that the Carter family wanted out of the business and they want to put TNA up for sale. So the main people I would think would buy TNA, if it's indeed true, if the rumors are true that TNA is up for sale. And Andre Corbeil tweeted to me this. It could be Eric Bischoff or Viacom, which makes all the sense in the world. Seems that Eric Bischoff is working from home and not at, Impact Wrestling tapings, or that could have been a sign, them sending Bischoff home. And, another sign that AJ left with the title in storyline reasons. But then again, it's just weird how everything just panned out after Bound for Glory. It seemed that TNA hit a great stride, pressing the reset button from all the past sins that they did this past year, and it just seems that they had something going. And now that this news is up, I don't know what's going to come of it. I just hope some more light will be shed to the situation. What's gonna happen to the talent? What's gonna happen to producers and creative? And who's gonna eventually buy TNA? If the deal actually goes down. So, my eyes will be peeled to see what'll happen in the long run. So, other than that, but those are my thoughts on what happened at Hell in a Cell, on Raw, and TNA. Hopefully this could, I don't know, bring a light of fire or something. Just rebrand everything. But as far as everything else goes, I hope these storylines in WWE have a great resolution, and I hope they prove me wrong as far as the Daniel Bryan situation and everything else. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, folks. So, and I forgot to point out HBK's apparent heel turn on Monday. I think it was expected, and what's the end game to all of it? Seems as if his best friend Triple H didn't even come to Shawn Michaels' aid when Shawn had the yes lock put on him. So that's a little bit more dissension there. And I mean, everything's up in the air. Everything seems so confusing now after Hell in a Cell because of Orton's, in my opinion, Orton's downgrade, and the fact that it could be the Big Show now in the title picture, or Big Show versus Triple H, or if they're saving that for it. I'm just so confused in the storylines going on right now. I don't know. But give me your comments. Tell me what you think about the current product right now in WWE after Hell in a Cell, and what's your opinion on TNA's alleged rumor being on sale. Who would you think would buy the company if it is confirmed? I'm in the same boat as Andre Corbeil. I would say Bischoff and possibly Viacom. Who knows? But give me your comments. Subscribe to me. Follow me at Perez_81 on Twitter. I'll have some more stuff. And thank you for watching. Later.